Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I hope you made it over here safely from the teleportation device that we used from the earlier morning Sarah Boone stream. We are now going to cover a horrific, shocking case out of Northern Kentucky. Buckle up, my friends, if you have not heard about this yet, because it's going to go into the bucket of what the duck. So girls, oh my God, I live and I'm from Central Kentucky. This is in Northern Kentucky, Mount Olivet, Kentucky. If you haven't heard about this case yet, like I said, buckle up. I'm going to give it a minute or two because this was very last minute that I just set this up and just sent you over here from Sarah Boone. So some people might just be getting a notification that I'm going live and are like, "What? What did I miss? What did I miss?" You didn't miss anything yet. I'm going to give you a second to come in. Yeah, this is surreal. It is. This is surreal. It sounds really wacky, and those of you who are from Kentucky, I'm gonna need your help. This is one of those cases where I'm gonna be like, "Help me understand this. Help me understand this." Is it a case of drugs are bad? Is it a case of witchcraft gone wrong? There are so many questions I have with regard to this case and this woman and this. I have so many questions. So many. Look at Brinley has it. Kate has questions. Brinley hasn't even heard a word about this. Of course, I'm from New York. I get my news from the New York Post because it's quick, it's easy. I get notifications on my phone. They pop up. I saw this pop up. I think it was day before yesterday, and I just could not stop digging. And there's not a lot of information on it yet. She's scheduled to be arraigned today at 1:00. So I don't know that it's going to be televised. This is in Kentucky. We did see Sheriff Mickey Steins. Well, I think it was his preliminary hearing that was televised. It was not his arraignment per se. So this is going to be a creepy story for your walk through the woods right now, Owl Salt, because this is insane. And I think that the best narrative of this story really comes from the Daily Mail. So that's what I'm going to read to you. Drugs are bad for 200, says Chantal. Yeah, dismemberment is a thing lately. I feel like we have to just even wait a minute before we even say that word, but it's like too late. We're 3 minutes in. We have to kind of wait till 5 minutes until we say anything that's gonna upset the YouTube gods and the YouTube AI algorithm, and they love to scan the chat and they love to scan the video, and they're gonna not like what I have to say about this, and even just that we're even talking about it. So while we're waiting for people to join us, this is a great time to hear a word from our sponsor. We are lucky enough to have a sponsor for this show today, so that way we don't have to worry about the YouTube AI algorithm. And for those of you who don't know, who have not heard of my sponsor before, Aura is my sponsor for today's show. If you have ever had your identity stolen or know anybody who has, or if you have ever had anybody hack into your bank accounts or try and open up credit under your name, you know what a horror show it can be to try to have to undo. My sponsor can help you with that. My sponsor is Aura. Let's listen to a word from our sponsor, and I will be right back while we wait for some more people to join us. Thank you for your patience. Today's video is sponsored by Aura, and it's a really important time to be talking about them because hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from national public data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records include a person's full name, address, date of birth, social security number, and phone number, along with alternate names and birth date. And members of this hacker group have reportedly released this information on the dark web for free. I don't know if you've ever had your identity stolen, but I've had clients who've had their identity stolen. And not only is it a major hassle, but oftentimes before you find out, it's too late. The damage can take years to undo, and it's a hassle that you definitely do not want to deal with. So if you haven't been taking precautions before with your personal information online, this should be a huge wake-up call. You've never been more vulnerable online than you are right now. But I'm not too worried about it because I use Aura. Aura alerts me if they find my phone number, my email, my social security number, or any other personal information on the dark web. They're going to let me know fast if anyone tries to use this information to access my credit or bank accounts to give me up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. And you can go to my link at www.aura.com/Melanie Little to try it for free for 14 days. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal information or data has been exposed. I highly recommend you do this right now because not only is national public data not going to do anything to help you, they probably aren't even going to face any repercussions for this breach. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you want to go to my link, www.aura.com/Melanie Little, to try 2 weeks for free. You can thank me later. It actually happened to me. Aura notified me that my social security number was found on the dark web. So you guys, you need to protect yourselves. And this is a great way to do it. Free 2-week trial. They can help you. The link is below. Check it out if you like. All right. So the original notification that came out about this case was from the Kentucky State Police, and they put on their website a little blurb about what was going on. So let's take a look at that first, because we like receipts here. We're a legal-based channel. I am coming to you with 30 years experience in state and federal courts out of New York. I'm a New York licensed attorney. This is what we do. We look at receipts. So originally, their original news release was from October 9th, 2024. You guys are probably like, that font is way too small. I agree. And this is from the Kentucky State Police website, and they are looking for applications. So if you would like to be a member of the Kentucky State Police, you can apply today at joinksp.com. But in any event, their first news release was on October 9th, 2024 out of Mount Olivet, Kentucky. And it reads, at 12:26 p.m., the Kentucky State Police Post, I got to make this bigger for myself. The Kentucky State Police Post 6 Dry Ridge received a call concerning a deceased female on Briarly Ridge Road in Robertson County. Troopers responded to the property and confirmed the initial reports. Troopers attempted to make contact with a female inside the residence but received no response. A search warrant was obtained for the property, and the special response team was activated to serve the warrant. At this time, the scene remains active and contained with no threat to the public. So that was on October 9th. Today, for posterity, is October 14th. And the story is still not, a lot of you said you still haven't heard of this yet. Then again, they updated this story on October 9th and said a female was located inside the residence and was taken into custody without incident around 11 p.m. last night. Torilena May Fields, 32, of Mount Olivet, has been charged with obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Pending further investigation, more charges may be filed. This matter remains under investigation by Post 6 detectives. Torilena May Fields will be lodged at the Bourbon County Detention Center later this morning. Something else that I found really interesting about Kentucky is that everyone who's in the jail there is easily accessible. So all you need to do is go to the Bourbon County inmate website and you can look up everyone who's been booked. We could spend an entire show just looking at the mugshots and going through mugshots because this is material right here. This is material for days. So here's Torilena May Fields' mugshot. Gonna see if I can make this bigger for you. Here's her mugshot right here. Tells you when she was booked in. 10/10, she was booked in, 10/10/24 by the Kentucky State Police. They have her race listed as white, female, age 32. It's one of the craziest mugshots I've ever seen. Drugs are bad, in my opinion. Drugs are bad. It has the case as the active bond amount of only $25,000. So, I mean, what? Cash bond. And here are the charges: obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, with complicity and abuse of a corpse. So there you go. This is Kentucky's got a great system. You can look it up. It's harder to get the actual records. I can't find a copy of the criminal complaint or well, there's no indictment yet, but even like of the criminal complaint or the summons or whatever it is that they call it in Kentucky, the charging docs. If anybody has those, please feel free to email me. I'm going to put my email up on the screen. It is fanbase@mlulaw.com. If you have any of those original charging documents, I would love to see them because this is a document-based channel and we like to go over the documents together. Now it's going to be story time. I'm going to read you a brief synopsis of this case before we move on to some actual footage. Oh, Yuri's math teacher, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. You're so amazing and kind and generous. And to those of you who are gifted, welcome. Welcome. Now, if I can just take that down, we can get back to here. I'm back to 1. And this is according to the Daily Mail, and I've vetted it, and it is the best writing, so that's what I'm going to use, and it is accurate because sometimes the Daily Mail is not always accurate. It's kind of like the National Enquirer, but this is accurate. I have vetted it. I have checked it with other sources. A Kentucky woman has been arrested after law enforcement found her 68-year-old mother's dismembered body parts being cooked in a pot. On Wednesday, that would be last Wednesday, October 9th, Kentucky State Police responded to a report of a dismembered body found by a man working on the property of a Robertson County home, according to a police statement. And that was the statement that we just read from the Kentucky State Police website. 2 units arrived on scene, discovered the deceased body in the backyard. We obtained a search warrant and called in our special response team, said Kentucky State Police Trooper David Jones, reported by WKYT. After a 12-hour standoff, police arrested 32-year-old Torilena May Fields, who had barricaded herself in her Mount Olivet home. Although police have not confirmed the identity of the body, several news outlets reported the victim to be her mother, Trudy Fields. And this was an early article, so it has since been confirmed that it was her mother, Trudy Fields. One of the workers discovered drag marks in the grass, leading to Trudy's dismembered body in the backyard. The victim's arms, legs, and head were detached from her body, per police. He also discovered a pile of hair believed to be hers. I probably should have put up a trigger warning. That would have been the nice thing to do, but didn't think of it. So it's a verbal trigger warning for now. The man informed troopers that he had been at the property the day before and had seen both the victim and Fields. On October 8th, the witness said Torilena was casting spells on them and being confrontational, the troopers noted in a citation. So it's the citation that I would love to see if anybody has it. It seems that the witness very casually said, Torilena was casting spells on us and being very confrontational. I need to know about witchcraft in northern Kentucky. I need to know if there are any cults actively practicing Satanism. I need to know. I need to know what's going on. Yes, Kim, RIP to Trudy Fields. So sad and so horrific what she experienced in life. This girl is 32 years old. The title and the photo are the trigger warning. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Boomer. I know it's not funny. It's not funny at all. But the casting spells part is what really interests me. And it just seems like it was just so casually said by this witness, like this is a common thing. Police obtained a search warrant and entered the home after they were unable to contact Torilena. When she finally came out of hiding, she was covered in blood. A thorough search of the property revealed, trigger again, a bloodied mattress containing multiple body parts and organs. The investigators also discovered a pot in the oven that contained what appeared to be cooked human body parts. The pot was still warm to the touch. Jeffrey Dahmer relation? Yeah. Reality of a Second Life says that folk magic be strong up in these hills. Are you from there? Are you from Reality of a Second Life? Please, I need help understanding this. Guys, if you'd like to chat, I would love to hear from you. If you're local, just hit the subscribe button. It's free. I have to do that for this chat because this is I cover cases that involve a lot of trolling and people who are very mean and vitriolic, and I like to keep that out of my chat. So please just hit the bell. I mean, the subscribe button to just come in and chat with us because we need to know these things. Boomer says you don't need to be in a cult or satanic church to do dark rituals. Some people just lose their damn minds and do demonic and satanic practices. Yeah, but I just need to know. She says, yep, Reality of a Second Life. Anne says witchcraft is pretty popularly practiced in a lot of Appalachia, although folks may not call it that. As a witch myself, I would warn against any satanic panic narratives. No, I'm not. I'm genuinely interested. Like, I'm genuinely interested in witchcraft. I always have been. There's no shade thrown at all. Please do not cast any spells on me. But I am very, very interested in this. And I'm not saying that witchcraft involves any sort of sacrifice or anything such like that. But I just, based on what the witness said, that she was casting spells, it seems to me like perhaps that is something that is not that uncommon, or that they knew that she was involved in some sort of Satanism. I don't know. That's why I'm asking, for genuinely asking you for help. So the pot was still warm to the touch. Torilena is being charged with obstruction, as we just saw on the Kentucky State jail portal. Tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse. She's currently being held in Bourbon County Detention Center. Further charges may be filed throughout the investigation. Perhaps the most interesting part of this article is that Torilena does not have a prior criminal record at all. Nothing. Her arraignment is scheduled for today at 1 p.m. It is now 1:18. So if anyone has any updated information, I do not think that this was broadcast in any way. But let's take a look at part of the gallery that the Daily Mail had in their article, because they do have good pics. This caption says, one of the workers noticed drag marks in the grass, which led them to the victim's dismembered body in the backyard. I looked up this property, and it seems to be something like 400 acres. So if any of you know for a fact, it's on, I forget the name of the road, but I looked it up. Briarly something road. This again is Torilena's mugshot. She's 32 years old, no prior criminal history. 12-hour standoff. This was the house. And this was an earlier article. So it says, although police have not confirmed the identity of the body, several news outlets reported the victim to be her mother, 68-year-old Trudy Fields. Oh, Rara says, that's an interesting spin. Maybe mom died naturally and she wanted her social security check. Wouldn't be the first time for this. That's true. She hasn't been charged with murder yet. She may not be. It could be something like that. Thanks, Ange. Says, I just want to say again, I feel safe in this chat, and I know Melanie wouldn't attack the witch community. No, never. Mainly saying as a general warning for everyone, because it can go there quick. Yeah, same thing with anything, same thing with any mental illness or narcissism, or, narcissists don't always go out and kill people either. So I agree. The house gives Waco vibes. Yeah. Waco memories, but less desert. This reminds me kind of, what was that show that I watched? Oh, now I can't remember, but it was a great series. And it was about a girl. It was about like this camp that this woman set up, sort of like a camp for victims of DV. And it was all women, and they lived in this like ranch. And I think like a really famous actress played like the person who headed up this place. And it was about a girl, and she burned the house down when she was a little girl, and all of those memories came flooding back to her. Can anybody tell me what that series is that I just watched recently? Something, not Flowers in the Attic, but something similar. I'm losing my mind. But in any event, that's what this reminds me of. Let's take a look at the initial news report, which is here. This is, I like to go to local news for my breaking news. This is WLWT.
15th.
Now, just a bizarre case out of Robertson County, Kentucky, where a woman is facing charges in connection to her mother's death. So troopers are responding here after someone reported finding a woman's body at the home yesterday afternoon. Torilena Fields arrested a few hours later. Officers say parts of her mom's body were found in the backyard, inside a mattress, in a pot, and inside the oven. Fields is charged with abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and obstruction. State police say an autopsy will be completed tomorrow.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the results of that autopsy are. Right? Wonder what her personal social media looks like. It's kind of non-existent, but I did find somebody posted her yearbook photo. Let me pull this up for you. Here it is. Torilena May Fields. Nickname, Tori Lil Punk. Future plans, plan to become a famous singer and shock the world. If I'm not successful, I plan to attend college and go crazy in the fitness industry. Favorite quotes / advice, life is what it is. There's two types of people in the world, those who are forgotten and those who are remembered. I choose to be remembered. So there's that. Sigourney Weaver. That's it. Sigourney Weaver. What was the name of that show? Hold on. The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. Yes. Did you guys watch that? It was a series. It was, now I have to look it up for you and tell you where to go watch it. The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. It was really good. It's on Amazon Prime. It was something like Sigourney Weaver is in it. 7 episodes. Really good. Did anybody else watch it, Bernie, besides you? Really, really good. And triggering. Yes, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. Well, she got half of that right. Freudian slip. You are in here today for the win. Her Facebook was slim. I can show it to you. There's, yeah, maybe you can help me with this symbology. Because I'm interested in this, but why does Facebook not want to come up right now? Fake book, I call it. Okay, is Facebook down? Hang on. It may be. All right, hold on. I mean, all there is, I'm going to show it to you. The only thing that's really here is a profile picture that looks kind of like it might be like a sketch for a tattoo. I'm not sure. Hang on. I mean, this is it. Here's the profile picture. It says she has 2 friends. So it doesn't seem like she was very active. Two friends, both named Fields. So I don't know. I need to know more. I saw some stuff on, I don't know, TikTok that she may have been a model, but I can't confirm that it's the same person. So I'm not really going to put that out there. Here's Fox 56 News, which claims to have been the only news organization on scene during this 12-hour standoff. Listen to this story.
Last night, Fox 56 was the only Lexington station on the scene as police investigated a gruesome discovery, a dead body found at a home in Robertson County. Tonight, Jay Sobardo is at the Bourbon County Detention Center where the suspect is now behind bars.
Andrea, this arrest citation reveals the grisly details of a tragic incident yesterday that left a woman dead. And what police found at the scene is like something you would see out of a horror film. We want to warn you, the information you're about to hear is graphic. Around 12:30 yesterday, Kentucky State Police were called to Briarly Ridge Road in Robertson County, where a caller had found a dismembered body. When officers arrived, they found a body in the backyard with arms, legs, and head severed. The torso was also split and organs were missing. Next to it was a blood-soaked mattress containing more body parts. With a search warrant, police entered the house and found the suspect, Torilena May Fields. She was covered in blood and refused to come out. After using tear gas and a rope.
Tear gas. They used tear gas and a robot to get her out. I'm going to take that back a second because you can hear them saying, come out with your hands up.
May Fields. She was covered in blood and refused to come out. After using tear gas and a robot to communicate, police took Fields into custody. She's now held at the Bourbon County Regional Detention Center. Inside, police found more body parts cooking in a stainless steel pot in the oven. One of the men who called 911 said Fields had been casting spells and acting aggressively earlier that day. Fields faces several charges, including obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Now, the victim in this case has been identified, but authorities are still working to determine the next of kin. Out of respect for the family, we're not releasing that information at this time. In Bourbon County, Jay Sobardo, Fox 56 News.
And that was from October 10th. That was Thursday. And then here's another local news report. This is WCPO Channel 9, also from October 10th.
First at 11, a woman is in custody after Kentucky State Police found her mother's dismembered body lying behind the Robertson County home. WCPO 9 News reporter Marlena Lang has more details on this shocking crime and a warning to all of you. Some of the details may be disturbing to some viewers.
A dismembered body, drag marks in the grass, multiple body parts and organs in the home, and human body parts that appear to have been.
That's the document I'm looking for. If anybody has a clean copy of it, I would love that.
And cooked. That was
Except, hold on, we can just, you know what we can do is we can freeze on it and I can read it to you from what I can see. It's a little blurry, but let's see what it says here. This is the post-arrest complaint. It says somebody, we're not sure who. So this is on Briarly Ridge Road. I wish I had a clean copy. Let me see if I go back a little tiny bit.
Some viewers.
Stop. Okay. Let's see. On October 8th, 2024, 9th, it says, I'm sorry, October 9th, 2024 at approximately 12:26 hours, Kentucky State Police Post 6 dispatch received a call from somebody, and he advised another guy and himself arrived at Briarly Ridge Road to work on a building for the property owner, Trudy Fields. There was no answer at the door when he knocked. While trying to locate Trudy, he observed a dismembered human body laying behind the residence. He advised dispatch he believes the body is that of the homeowner, Trudy, and he believes her daughter, Torilena May Fields, is responsible for Trudy Fields' death. Upon law enforcement's arrival to the residence at Briarly Ridge Road, Mount Olivet, Kentucky, residents of Trudy, troopers observed a dismembered body lying in the grass behind the residence. In close proximity of the body is a bloodstained mattress. Troopers observed blood on the back porch in the threshold of the back door. Also on the back porch, troopers observed a bloodstained wooden stick and another bloodstained mattress. I'm curious about that bloodstained wooden stick. Drag marks in the grass leading from the residence to the body were observed. The witness disclosed in an interview. While he was walking around the residence, he observed a pile of hair, which he identified as belonging to Trudy. Mr. Blevins then observed bloodstained mattress at the back door and drag marks in the grass leading away from the rear of the home. Following the drag marks, he observed a dismembered body lying in the backyard of the residence.
Dismembered body, drag marks in the grass, multiple body.
He advised he last saw Trudy Fields on October 8th of 2024 at approximately 1830 hours, when she accompanied them down to the property gate and appeared to lock it behind them as they exited. On that same day, he stated Torilena was casting spells on them and was being confrontational. He advised Trudy Fields and Torilena were the only ones at the residence on October 8th, 2024. A search warrant was obtained for the residence, and the Kentucky State Police Special Response Team, SRT, was called to the scene to make entry into the subject residence. Upon making entry into the residence, the female subject, Torilena May Fields, was the only individual located inside. Torilena refused to exit the residence when multiple commands were given. CS gas, that's tear gas, was deployed by SRT. After multiple, I can't read what that says, multiple something of CS gas and conversing with Torilena using a robot, Torilena was removed from the residence without further incident. Torilena appeared to have blood on her face, hands, and clothing. Closer observation of the body revealed the arms, legs, and head had been removed. The torso and, let me just mute this for a second. Torso and spine were severed in half and the organs removed. The mattress lying next to the dismembered body was folded over in half. Upon unfolding the mattress, multiple body parts and organs were found. Inside the kitchen, a stainless steel pot was observed in the oven. When removing the pot, human body parts were found inside that appeared to have been cooked inside the oven. The pot was still warm to the touch. Well, I can pretty much guarantee that we're going to be stricken for this stream right now, so please sign up for your free 2-week trial of Aura. It would really help the channel. Thanks.
Human body parts that appeared to have been cooked. That was the horror Kentucky State Police saw as they entered a home on Briarly Bridge Way in Mount Olivet, Kentucky on Wednesday afternoon.
Around 12:26, I believe, we got a call from a subject in Robertson County stating there's a possible dead body in the backyard of a residence.
According to this KSP report, a man who was about to do work for property owner Trudy Fields made the call to 911. He told officers that he believed the body belonged to Trudy and that her daughter, Torilena Fields, was responsible for her death.
The caller added that he saw Trudy and her daughter just the day before and that Torilena was casting spells and being confrontational.
Units responded, found a dead female.
See how they just say, like, casting spells and being confrontational? Like, this is, and Reality of a Second Life says, not to be graphic on purpose, but seriously wondering, did she have help? Because wouldn't it be a hard thing to do? Yeah, it is. I think dismemberment is a lot of work. It takes a lot of strength, and it's a lot of work. Glissy Gigi says, unfortunately, our culture promotes witches as evil and really demonic, but most of us are worshiping nature and caring for the earth. Yeah, 100%. That's my understanding of it anyway. I don't even believe in the devil. We have enough evil in humans. You're damn right, girl, we do. Yes, we do. And if you go on Twitter, you will see an awful lot of it. Let's take it back a second to hear what the deputy says.
Confrontational.
Units responded, found a dead female in the backyard, tried to make contact with somebody at the house. The house was locked up.
Troopers also found a...
I mean, this is probably, I'm going to guess, the most horrific scene that any of these troopers have ever seen during the course of their careers. I'm going to go out on a limb and just put that out there. Probably, maybe. It's crazy. Jen says it doesn't feel like witchcraft to me, more like drugs or severe mental illness. I mean, it was just the casual tossing out of the casting spells thing that just made me think and fall into the rabbit hole. Call me Alice.
bloody mattress near the body, and on the back porch they saw more blood, a blood-stained stick, and another blood-stained mattress.
Ended up getting a search warrant for the residence. Our special response team responded to serve that search warrant due to the circumstances surrounding the body and unknown what's in the property in the house.
The report indicates Torilena Fields was the only person in the house when troopers entered and that she refused to leave. They say they had to use tear gas in order to take her into custody. In the house, police found more body parts and organs, as well as a stainless steel pot in the oven with body parts inside that was still warm to the touch when removed. In Mount Olivet, Marlena Lang, WCPO 9 News.
Thank you, Marlena. Torilena Fields is charged with obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. And the KSP said more charges may be filed pending an investigation. By the way, she is currently being held at the Bourbon County Detention Center.
Yeah, and we also had access to everyone else who's being held at the Bourbon County Detention Center. We went through that earlier. Help me understand, my friends. Help me understand. Hi, Karina. Happy to be fighting, fit, and following chat again. Thanks for hanging in there for 7 months. We appreciate you. Help me understand. Somebody said, leave witches alone. This is about drugs. I don't know. I don't know what it's about. I thought the casting spells part of it was interesting. I'm not demeaning any witches at all in my chat. I know some of you are here, so there's that. Most people could dismember a body if they had the stomach for it. Many of us grew up hunting and field dressing a deer or other animals. Some butcher at home to save money. Poverty is real here, says Glissy Gigi, who apparently may live or in Pennsylvania. Michelle says, I have pity for the daughter because no one in their right frame of mind could do that, in my opinion. I'm anxious to see any toxicology results that were done, if they did any when she came in. I want to know if she was on any kind of drugs that would have caused her to behave in a psychotic way. I'm not sure why they took her to a Bourbon County jail. That's about an hour and a half from the arrest location. Yeah. I don't know. Those poor cops. I agree, Great Dane Mom. Those poor cops. Let me see if there's not that much on it. So we're going to stay on it for you and see what it's about. I want to know if there's a mental health history, says Smurfana. Polly Claire says it might not be drugs, could be a mental break. Sometimes they happen quickly. Could be. Marzi says could be a psychotic break combined with drugs. You need strength for that. Yep. Monique, Coach Mo coming in. Would be interesting if they learned that Torilena was innocent, that someone else killed him and dismembered her mother's body. Right. Would be very interesting. She has no prior criminal history. Fairy Ducky says mental break / drugs, in my opinion, is so sad. Oh, are you talking about the series that we were talking about before? The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. Yeah, it was a weird and thought-provoking series. Yeah, with Sigourney Weaver. It was incredible, I thought. Yeah, definitely thought-provoking. Definitely needed to digest. Like every episode was hard to watch, but it was really good. Francine, a lot of punctuation in this. I also question witchcraft. How do the officers identify casting spells? How do they know this is just a deranged person and witches don't murder and dismember? Well, because it was in the witness report. That's what the witness said, that the day before he was there, she was casting spells on them and acting in a confrontational manner. That's all we have at this point to go on. Reality of a Second Life says they gassed the house to get her to come out, though. That's something. Yeah, she wouldn't come out. And then they sent a robot in there to communicate with her. So good on Kentucky State Police for having robots to be able to go into, hostage type situations and dangerous type crime scenes to communicate with someone who won't come out. I agree. Her tox report should be interesting. Does anybody know if they automatically do one when you go into a Kentucky State Or the jail. This was, where is she being held? Bourbon County Detention Center. Melissa is opining underlying mental health issues and methamphetamine-induced psychosis. Could be. Oh, it's okay. I didn't take it personally, Jane. Don't worry. It takes a lot more than that to get me to take it personally. Let's see, Gigi is in here schooling us on witchcraft. Whether you believe it as a religion or not, most witches are more spiritually inclined than many other religions. Many pray to their gods just as any other religion. I'm friends with many Christians. Starboy Glows says she said she wanted to excel in fitness. Weird. Could be anything. She probably had strength. Maybe wasn't into drugs, since fit the spell thing is who knows. Yeah. I know that you guys will fall into the rabbit hole, and you'll probably be able to uncover a lot of stuff that you'll share with me, and then we can learn about it together. Just going to see if there's anything breaking to see if it's happened yet. If the arraignment has happened and what happened there. And if any news stations covered it live, I've got nothing. Well, let's see. WLWT. No. Nothing yet. We're here for it if it breaks. Just Chrissy the Crone says, I'm giggling here as my daughter is obviously a generational witch and has her master's in psychology. Bet she's laughing at this if she's watching. Hello, Chrissy the Crone's daughter, if you're out there watching. She was covered in blood as well. Yep. Michael L. coming in with the humor. What would the 911 operator say? We have a 666 in progress. Well done, my friend. Well done. Yes, Delilah, I'm sure that they will pull fingerprints from a pan in the oven. It was like a pot. They said it was a cast iron pot to see if she put it in the oven. County Sheep is chiming in with mental break, possible drugs combined. Max Bang, so incredibly interesting. Yes, I found this to be a story that we needed to cover today because I didn't see a lot of coverage on it out there. I'm more of a magic of physics person myself. You believe in physics? Imagine, you must be part of the Karen Reed trial crowd. Right. Sensory Euphoria points out, I mean, finding a body alone could cause a psychotic break if she was in a delicate place, let alone a dismembered one. But if she killed her mother, that's a wild escalation from zero. Yeah. Erica Olson wants to know why so many people are going nuts. And Chrissy points out again, we don't know her mental health history or addiction history. We just know that she's got no criminal history. That's correct. But Mike then says, her absence of any criminal record does make you go, Yes, Pilgrim Shadow, not trying to be funny. Does the Emmy still do some sort of autopsy? Yes, they said that the autopsy was forthcoming. I don't know that the results are going to be published or, public, at least for us to see, but especially to learn the manner of death. Can she claim her mother was dead before her actions? Yes, they can determine from an autopsy whether the dismemberment occurred after death or before death. We see that a lot in, such shows as like Criminal Minds and Law and Order and stuff like that. Yeah, her fingerprints would be legit on the pot if she lived there, though. Yes, Polly Claire, you're correct. She's due to be arraigned today. It's supposed to be today. Somebody said next week, but I believe it's supposed to be today. They have to arraign her within, I think, 72 hours. And it does say on the court docket when I looked it up that it was happening today at 1 p.m. Oh, thanks, Elle, for being here for 9 months and appreciating my content. My content. I appreciate you too. Yep. But it can still manner of death depending upon what organs are left. Yes, they did find the organs also. Diplomatic Diva. Thank you, Melanie, for talking about this spooky case. I love being here with your fab mods in safe chat, although a bit disturbing, not as scary as that courtroom Karen Reed is currently in purgatory. Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy case. Grateful Glow 1111 red on the mattress could mean her mother was sleeping when it started. Max Bang, the witch I was fortunate enough to meet, was one of the most insightful, calm, interesting people I have ever met. Marzi said, I thought I heard that she ordinarily doesn't live there. Not in anything that I read so far. Right? Let me see. If the New York Post had anything different. Oh, here's a clip I wanted to show you from about the community reacting. I just have to sit through a commercial, I think, because it's on the actual WKYT website. Sometimes it makes me sit through a commercial. And it is. It's a makestickers.com commercial. If you know, you know.
And labels. And our website.
Support them because IYKYK, they will not give you up without a warrant, as we learned in the recent Canton rubber ducky investigation. Makestickers.com. They do not sponsor me, but they should.
Investigation continues tonight in northern Kentucky. We do want to start by warning you that the details of this story are graphic.
A Robertson County woman is under arrest after KSP discovered a dismembered body that witnesses believe to be her mother. WKYT's Jeremy Toms was at the scene. He has our top story at 11.
Trooper David Jones says Kentucky State Police responded to this home on Briarly Ridge Road in Robertson County Wednesday afternoon after a man who arrived to work on the property made a horrific discovery.
2 units arrived on scene, discovered a deceased body in the backyard. We obtained the search warrant and called in our special response team.
The witness believes he found the dismembered body of Trudy Fields, who he had last seen on Tuesday with her daughter, Torilena May Fields. Torilena was in the home when police arrived, and they had to use tear gas to eventually get her out.
She just would not come out of the residence.
Upon entry, the arrest citation shows there were body parts cooked inside an oven, the pot still warm to the touch. Trooper Jones says it's the type of scene they never want to have to process, and locals here in the Mount Olivet area are left shocked by its gruesome nature.
It's unthinkable, really, to ending up that way.
The witness also noted that Torilena was casting spells on him and a co-worker when they arrived for work Tuesday.
To me, where's the mindset of the person at that point? Was she really mentally stable enough to know what she was even doing?
James McFarland says to lose someone like this woman in this manner,
she's a sweet old lady, sweetest lady you could be around.
It's shaken up their small town. In Robertson County, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Fields is being held in the Bourbon County Detention Center. She is charged with obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Her arraignment is set for Monday.
And they will not upgrade those charges until they have more evidence that if and when they can prove that she was connected to the death. If ever, they can connect those two things, then as such time is they will upgrade the charges at that such time. According to the New York Post, see if they give us any further details. This was published on the 12th. Cops arrived at Fields' home after receiving a concerning call from a maintenance worker hired by Torilena's mother, Trudy, who's the property owner. That worker told police that he couldn't get inside the house when he arrived Wednesday morning. When he walked around to the back, he was shocked to see a dismembered corpse in the yard, according to the report. He told the cops he feared the remains were those of Fields. Maintenance man told investigators that he and Trudy had a confrontation with Fields on Tuesday, I guess meaning Torilena. The accused corpse desecrator began casting spells and acted aggressive during the man's visit the day before the arrest. Cops arrived in the afternoon, but Fields didn't show her face until 11 p.m. after law enforcement obtained a warrant to legally enter the home. Fields emerged from the house covered in blood, and investigators found body parts throughout the home, including in the kitchen's oven, where a warm pot contained disembodied pieces. There was a 12-hour standoff. Remains were also found in a mattress, stuffed, folded, and dragged from the house into the backyard, leaving a bloody trail, according to investigators. I wonder if they had surveillance cameras, if it'll show anybody else coming or leaving the property. And then they go on to say, in true New York Post fashion, it is not clear whether or not Fields ingested any body parts. She was booked in the Bourbon County Detention Center last Thursday. You're welcome. Everybody ready for lunch? Update, she has been charged with murder and animal torture. Is that real? Where'd you find that? Give me a sauce. Give me a sauce. WLWT? It's times like this I detest going to bed alone, says Gina. I want to see this robot too. I am very interested in my spirit life vlog in this robot. This is, you may recall, if you're from the New York area, I did cover this too. I called it the Amityville Butchers. There were 4 people that were charged with improper disposal of a body when they hacked up 2 people horrifically and scattered the body parts around the South Shore of Long Island, including an arm that was tattooed that was in a tree that some high school students came upon. And that's what they need to charge you with to keep you first, very tragically, before they can connect any dots on any murder charges. So I do not see any upgraded charges as of yet, but that is just because I am only looking on the Twitter. So if you have a better source for me, please let me know. I don't see it right exactly now as of this minute. But I will keep you updated on this case because I am very interested in this case, interested in learning more. If anybody's from the area, please feel free to email me, fanbase@mlittlelaw.com, so we can keep on top of this for you. Yahoo News 50 minutes ago. All right, hang on. Is Yahoo News even still a thing? Thank you. I found it in the Kentucky, the Lexington Herald Ledger. Let's read that together. Thank you so very much. Sometimes these are behind a paywall, so let's be lucky, feel lucky that right now this one is not. Get to it quickly before it wants me to pay 10 cents to subscribe for 6 months. Kentucky woman arrested in dismemberment case, now charged with murder and animal torture. Thank you, my collaborative chatters. I appreciate you. See, look. Stop. Here's again another picture of the house, close-up exterior shot of the residence where Kentucky State Police, Post 6, continue their investigation after Torilena May Fields was taken into custody and charged with obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse on October 11th in Mount Olivet, Kentucky. And they're even putting in an editor's note. This story contains details that some readers may find disturbing. A Kentucky woman accused of dismembering her mother and cooking her body parts inside a Robertson County home last week has been indicted on additional charges of murder and animal torture. There it is. Thank you. Torilena May Fields, 32, of Mount Olivet, was arrested October 10th after police found her mother's dismembered body behind the mother's home. Body parts were found in several areas on the property, including in the oven. According to the indictment, between October 8th and 9th, Fields shot her mother, Trudy Fields, in the head and stabbed her several times. That's new information. First, she shot her, and then she stabbed her. several times. Fields is accused of then, quote, decapitating, dismembering, eviscerating her mother's corpse and placing her head, feet, and forearms in a pot in the oven and heating them until they were charred. The indictment reads, looking for a copy of the indictment, if any of you have it. The indictment says she also tortured and killed a dog. Fields was initially charged only with obstructing governmental operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. A grand jury on Monday added charges of murder and animal torture. Wow. They got that grand jury convened and indicted like by today. That is like with incredible speed. I would have liked to see a preliminary hearing on this before an indictment, but they got it done in Northern Kentucky. She was indicted in circuit court and her bond was set at $1.5 million, which is a far cry from the, I think, what, 25,000 that we saw initially. Fields was arraigned Monday, that was today, at the Robertson County Judicial Center before District Judge Charles Custer Jr. It's a lovely courthouse in Mount Olivet, Kentucky. Custer entered a not guilty plea on her behalf and requested Fields be appointed a public defender. So the judge, she obviously didn't have a lawyer yet. The judge entered the plea on her behalf. Fields did not appear on the Zoom call and was not in the courtroom. Court officials said Fields has not been served her indictment, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. October 23rd. All right, we're coming back for that. 10:23 at 8:30 a.m. Remember that they did show Sheriff Mickey Stein's preliminary hearing. It was on the air. They did broadcast it. So 10:23 at 8:30 a.m. We're here for it. Fields' not guilty plea was expected ahead of her Monday appearance, as felony defendants are not able to plead guilty at their first appearance in district court because district judges don't have the jurisdiction to accept a guilty plea for a felony. Look at us learning about Kentucky legal procedure. Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Michael Laws said he could not comment due to pending litigation. Attorney Michael Laws, LAWS, do you think that his name shaped his occupation? Find that with a lot of people who are named after their occupation, which is odd, but interesting. What police found at Fields' residence. The body was found in the 3500 block of Briarly Ridge Road in Robertson County, near Mount Olivet, by men hired by the mother to do work on the property. The man who called police to report the body said both the mother, Trudy, and her daughter, Torilena, were at the house the previous day when the men first visited. The man told police Torilena was casting spells and acting confrontational toward them. When the two men returned the next day to work on the property, Trudy Fields was not there. They followed drag marks to the back of the house and found her dismembered body, according to the citation. Police said her arms, legs, and head had been removed. They also found a bloodstained mattress near her body. It was folded over and several body parts were inside. So she was trying to maybe hide it. After trying for several hours, police finally got into the home and found Torilena Fields with blood on her face, hands, and clothing, according to the citation. Maybe cannibalism was involved. I don't know. Police also found a pot in the oven that they said contained cooked body parts. Robertson County, about 50 miles northeast of Lexington, is the smallest county by area and population in Kentucky, with just under 2,200 residents, according to U.S. Census data. Mount Olivet, the county seat, has around 300 residents. The county has one K-12 school with 435 students enrolled. Speaking of possible cannibalism, did anybody watch Yellow Jackets? Another great series on some streamer, and it's coming back. And Yellow Jackets is amazing, and it was great. I highly recommend, along with the one that we talked about before, The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, which I believe is on Amazon Prime. Thank you, Bernie. Says, yes, Melanie, only you and Joe Jack alone covered the Butchers of Babylon. Thank you. They're still out there. 2 of them have pled guilty to the dismembering, and 2 of them have been indicted on murder charges. So that's going to be interesting. I love Yellow Jackets too. Well, this was a rather gruesome way to spend our afternoon on this Monday, October 14th at 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Thank you, Mrs. Bucket, for your super sticker. Thank you, Dan, who says they would not be able to pull prints from cast iron, but I think they did say stainless steel pot. I think you are correct. I think they absolutely did say that. And what a gruesome way to spend our afternoon, but we are here for all things true crime. Fem Dandy says, even if she did see what she was doing as a spell, doesn't mean it has any relationship to modern neo-paganism, Wicca, or anything at all. I'm just curious what her intentions were. Yeah, I mean, they don't have to prove motive. They never do. But there isn't always a motive. Sometimes it's just crazy, right? Sometimes evil has no reasons, but I don't know. I'm rarely speechless, but this one leaves me a little bit grossed out and creepy, right? Great Dane Mom says, makes me feel creepy. I'm going to volunteer with my dog at a mental health crisis hospital in an hour. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for doing that. Seems like psychosis. Some people are saying yes. We can't wait to see what happens next. Idle Hands, Graphic Nuts. I'm with you there. If you didn't watch my show from last night with Mark Betterow, breaking down the new Commonwealth Discovery Dump on Karen Reed, check that out. We had a great 3-hour discussion, broke everything down for you. This morning, we reviewed some of the Sarah Boone letters that she wrote to the judge and to her attorney before that trial starts, as we're in trial prep right now for Sarah Boone. And then I prepped this story for you yesterday, and I wanted to bring it to you today because I knew she was being arraigned, and luckily we were able to get the last-minute add-on charges that happened today. She did not even appear by Zoom at her own hearing this morning, but she's being appointed a public defender, Torilena May Fields, and we will see what happens next. Sharon T needs a shower. We will be back on October 23rd to follow this very closely in Bourbon County, Kentucky, for the preliminary hearing. Thank you again, my moderators, for keeping it so classy today. This is a difficult case, and it's triggering. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, smash it on your way out, hit the subscribe bell, and it really helps the channel. Sign up for your free 2-week trial of Aura. I've linked it in the description below. You don't want your social security number on the dark web like mine is, but luckily Aura helped me and told me exactly what to do so that my identity does not become stolen, my bank accounts do not become empty, and my credit is not trashed. Remember, as I always say to end every stream, my friends, be cool, be kind, be classy. It's really not hard. I promise you, it is so not hard. Stay safe out there, my friends.